The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved. Freedom March is powered by BTC.
Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. Bradley Roll, who sits at my right, is my spiritual advisor. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Today is Thursday, the 22nd of February, 2024. I'm late. I have just came out of Fox Hill, where the nation leader, Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, is holding a community conference, and there has been a number of distinguished citizens who surrounds and, of course, living in the Fox Hill community have been either questioning the Prime Minister or making some very, very important suggestion after the Prime Minister would have addressed that community gathering on the issue of uplifting our young people and pointing them in the right direction. And of course, I could not stay to join the Prime Minister as he led a walkabout in that community. I, of course, had to head to the studio. So what I don't show you today, I'll have to show you tomorrow because I'm late. Well, in addition to that, I am kind of stressed over the last 3, possibly 4 days. I have been in contact with a woman of the Caribbean. She has made some serious allegation against law enforcement that greatly distresses me. I think I may have to talk about it so that I can compel the relevant authorities to look into her complaint, because I'm just saddened as I listen to the serious allegation which she is making. And of course, it appears, according to her, no one in authority is willing to investigate her complaint. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker. It's a wonderful day in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Great social activities taking place in Fox Hill. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save our blessed King, King Charles III, and the entire royal family. This is powerful. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker, and of course, I shall go immediately to my spiritual advisor, who has on the full armor of the Lord. Bradley Rule, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you so much, Senator. Good to be here. Today we're going to take a look at the book of 1 Peter. We're going to go into chapter 3. And we're going to read verses from verses 18 to 22. And here's what Peter is actually telling the Christians here in the book of 1 Peter. He said, "For Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God. He was put to death in the body, but made alive in the spirit. After being made alive, he went and made proclamation to the imprisoned spirits, to those who were disobedient long ago, when God waited patiently in the days of Noah, while the ark was being built. In it, only a few people, 8 in all, were saved through water. And this water symbolizes baptism, that now saves you also. Not the removal of dirt from the body, but the pledge of a clear conscience towards God. It saves you by the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who is gone into heaven and is at the right hand with angels, authorities, and powers in submission to him. Read this passage again very carefully when you get some time, because it tells you exactly what baptism is, and it clearly tells you what it is not. For a lot of folks, they're told that baptism is an outward sign of an inward grace. That's very popular in the religious circles, but you'll never find that anywhere in sacred scripture. Verse 21 says, and water in the days of Noah. And this water symbolizes baptism that now saves you also. Baptism brings you into a saving relationship with Jesus Christ. It tells you what baptism is not. It's not the removal of dirt from the body, but the pledge of a clear conscience towards God. What gives baptism its power to save? It says it saves you by the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who is gone into heaven and is at God's right hand with angels, authorities, and powers in submission to them. So don't let people fool you and tell you that baptism does not save. This passage clearly tells you that baptism saves you through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. There's no such thing as an outward sign of an inward grace. That's not in sacred scripture. 1 Peter 3, 18 to 22 tells you that baptism saves you, and it explains how it does through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I read from the NIV, 1 Peter 3, 18 to 22. Please take this passage, go and sit down with your preacher, discuss it with him, and I can guarantee you he's going to tell you some things that you won't find in this passage. The Bible does not say that baptism is an outward sign of an inward grace. That's a very popular phrase that's used throughout the religious circles. The scriptures does not teach that. I dare any preacher in this country to tell me that you can get to heaven without being baptized, and call me so that we can have a debate. 814-6096. I challenge every single preacher under the sound of my voice and in this country that tells me that baptism does not save you and that baptism is an outward sign of an inward grace. The Bible does not teach that. And this water symbolizes baptism that now saves you also. Is it in your Bible? Because it's here in 1 Peter 3:21. Not the removal of dirt from the body, but the pledge. You're asking God to clear your conscience. From what though? 1 Peter 3, 18 to 21. I read from the NIV. The word of God is forever and ever blessed. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you so much, Senator.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Absolutely, indeed.
Well, my spiritual advisor, you may peruse that document.
I will.
I've just returned from the Fox Hill community, and of course, Prime Minister Philip Davis has spoken at a distinguished gathering of residents of the Fox Hill constituency and other distinguished Bahamian citizens on the issue of crime and a strategy to uplift young people and to get them involved in some very positive activities. The Prime Minister was introduced to the podium by the Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, National Security Minister Fred Mitchell. And of course, the meeting was full of excitement, and we saw where quite a number of people have either asked the Prime Minister questions and or made some very powerful suggestions. So this meeting should have come to an end, and the Prime Minister should have begun a tour of that constituency. It seems to be a collaborative effort of the people of Fox Hill and the Royal Bahamas Police Force and Urban Renewal. So it was full of activities, it was full of excitement, it was full of anticipation as the Prime Minister dealt with many issues and has offered some substantive solution to the many social problems that exist in our country, and particularly among young people. So I have some video, but I won't be able to show that today as I have, I've just arrived in studio. Meanwhile, Urban Renewal Police is kicking off a series of activities. We do know that in the Centerville constituency, the new Urban Renewal office, which is located at our latest former clinic. You would recall that our latest church had a clinic, which I think was once called Hard Decker. I might be wrong, please forgive me, but that is where Urban Renewal has always been for quite a number of years. And there is a new team of police officers who are running it. Do you see any photographs of police officers? At least 3 policemen that I have been standing with. I think it is either Inspector Mackey, I hope I have it right, Mr. Moss, because I don't remember his rank. I don't have my notes in front of me. And of course, Mr. Higgs. These are all 3 police officers who are working in the Centerville Urban Renewal constituency. And of course, they all have come up with some wonderful strategy to improve Centerville. And tomorrow, they will be launching, among many social activities, a breakfast, which I'm invited to. So there are lots of activities, and they have a wonderful strategy to clean up Centerville and to address the whole issue of abandoned vehicle on the side of the road and on properties. So it's a bold initiative to deal with the issue of crime. And of course, there has been a bold initiative to ensure that every light in that constituency is either replaced and or turned on. So I'll be telling you about it, but some great excitement taking place in Fox Hill and some great revelation that has been made to me. My spiritual advisor, you're looking at a particular pamphlet.
Yeah.
What does it indicate to you?
Well, this is, it's a whole government and whole society approach, I'm assuming, to crime crackdown and building safer communities. And they talk about the 5 pillars of this initiative, which is inclusive of prevention, policing, prosecution, punishment, and rehabilitation. So the Davis administration has 5-pillar strategy to build safer communities, and it's an integrated and collaborative framework for addressing the multiple social, economic, legal, and health challenges which contribute to crime and violence. So it's a very interesting pamphlet, to say the least. And it gives you a breakdown from the prevention. It talks about the pillar focus on addressing the root cause of crime. It involves community development, education, initiatives, social service, and economic opportunities. Two, policing and detection, emphasizing community-oriented policing, and this pillar seeks to strengthen the relation between law enforcement agencies and the communities they serve. And this is a big issue, though.
Indeed it is, my spiritual advisor.
There's a lot of work to do in this area, and that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult at times to solve some of these social issues that we have in the community, because there's this huge gap between the police community and the community that the police wants to serve and protect.
Well, during the speech of the Prime Minister, he has warned the criminal class. He's warned gang leaders that the government will not tolerate abuse of young people and of students. And he has promised that those persons who are willing to involve themselves in criminal activities, the police, the government will pursue them. And the Prime Minister has warned that you will either obey the law or you will suffer the consequences. So it has been a very bold, indeed, it is perhaps the most radical speech that I've heard from the Prime Minister on crime as the government gets ready through a series of social activities to enhance young people's through education and through their involvement in community activities. But the Prime Minister has warned those who would get in crime, those who would harm young people, those who would interfere with students, that the government will pursue them and that law enforcement will pursue them as well. So that is some of the reports that I have, and I regretted that I could not stay any longer to accompany the Prime Minister and that huge delegation in the walkabout through the Fox Hill community. So we thought we would tell you that.
Yeah, and so what is interesting, as it relates to policing, it talks about the approach, and I've seen one of these approaches work, and it speaks to expanding saturation patrols.
Yes.
I've seen these police trucks and vehicles all over the place.
Yes.
As of late, and it does seem as if it is having some sort of impact, especially. Never mind how bad the criminal is, but once they know there's a police presence, they stand red.
Yeah.
All right?
We saw it on Sunday.
Yeah, they stand red. And they would tell the friends, listen, man, the man coming. All right.
Now the man is supported by the Defense Force.
Okay.
So not only is the man present, he's present with the Defense Force, and as a result of that combination, they've been able to capture a rogue policeman, his mom, and other rogue citizens. So that is powerful indeed.
Now, introduction of facial recognition
Technology?
CCTV. Yeah.
Yes.
When do they plan to do that?
Well, that technology, as we speak, is taking place.
Okay.
I must speak to you in code. A distinguished Negro criminal had committed a crime, and using face recognition technology, the authorities was able to find an image of that Negro gangster, and within seconds, he was spotted at a distinguished restaurant eating.
Really?
That is how powerful the technology is. And as he dined, the police came in and arrested him. So with that technology, if you commit a crime and the police has an image of you, it is easy to catch you. And he was shocked that where he was, he almost asked the police, how you all knowing here? And I have to be guided not to explain how that technology works, but take it from me. Wherever you are, once your image is uploaded, it will find you. And he was found in a distinguished restaurant. That is most as I am prepared to tell you, because the Commissioner of Police might be watching me and he might wonder, how the hell Brother Monker know these things? But I thank God that I am in a position to know things, to see things, to hear things, and understand and analyze it. So the technology is working. And the only way you can escape the technology is not to commit the crime. In fact, during the speech of Prime Minister Philip Davis this afternoon, he alluded to a technology. And let me come back. I think I'll tell you about one of the technologies that the Prime Minister alluded to. So for heaven's sake, whatever crime you're planning today, forget it. They can catch you. Take it from me. They caught the Negro man. This is Freedom March. God save the Bahamas. God save good technology.
This is powerful. We on lockdown, just like before. Every other weekend, lockdown some more. Freedom March, Rodney Monker, about to do his thing and address the country concerns. Lockdown, baby. This is powerful. Lockdown, baby, with Rodney Monker. Lockdown, baby. This is powerful. Lockdown, baby.
Northern Soul is not a new word. In the mainland, there's been a research. We have to lock the country down. Cruising the button, but not now.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, I have run into one or two citizens who have warned me that notwithstanding that we are quiet, that we should be careful of COVID-19. Can you imagine that? Being careful of COVID-19 in 2000.
Keep the tourists.
To remind citizens that we should maintain reasonable social distancing, continue to sanitize the doors, continue to sanitize your hands, and notwithstanding what you hear, I believe those citizens, okay? So let's be very, very careful. But let me read an ad, and then we will deal with one or two issues, okay? Western Air introduces jet flight into North Eleuthera starting February 23rd, 2024. Flights from Nassau to North Eleuthera are available on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, as well as Sunday evenings. Visit www.westernAirBahamas.com to book today, and this is indeed very powerful. So, welcome back to Freedom March. Yes, so I was telling you that the Prime Minister has been in Foxhill at that wonderful community center which Fred Mitchell has built, and which is a great example for every member of Parliament. So it is a standard that I've not seen any other MP reach yet. So that is indeed very, very powerful. So I was telling my spiritual advisor at the adjournment, moments before the adjournment, that the technology of face recognition has been introduced. And the Prime Minister spoke of a number of technologies which will assist the police in capturing criminals who have been committing serious crimes and escaping via vehicles. So he spoke about a lot of technology, and I didn't take any notes. So it is my hope that Eyewitness News, I'll see what they write, and I'll be able to report more extensively on it. But I am aware of a particular Negro suspect that they were looking for, and using face recognition by Grab, within minutes, they were able to see him sitting at a distinguished restaurant. And when that intelligence was revealed to me, I was kind of stunned. I said, goodness me, that means if I'm at a distinguished restaurant, they will be able to find me. So you can be found. And therefore, it is wise to just obey the law. You see? Just obey the law, and it will be powerful. Do you have any comments on that, my spiritual advisor?
Yeah, we could move on.
Okay.
The strategy is, it's clear what the government intend on doing.
Yes.
The crackdown on the, well, what is interesting, I just took a look, at the approach to retake gang control areas. Now, that's going to be a task. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, because you're going to need a lot of support and communication from the communities on trying to deal with those gang control areas.
Okay.
I don't know how they intend to approach it from a holistic standpoint, but initially to deal with it's going to be kind of difficult. Now, what the Prime Minister told us is good. It could be effective, but that is something that's going to be ongoing, not necessarily by himself, but by the upper level powers of the police force, and of course the foot soldiers, inclusive of the Royal Bahamas Royal Bahamas Defense Force. Now it says the clear initiative is to eliminate or significantly reduce the presence and influence of the criminal element. You need a lot of communication and support from the public on that. All right, and then of course the whole is involves maintaining a robust and continuous security presence, rebuilding trust with the community, of course, establishing law and order. This is a very huge task.
Oh yeah.
That the government has decided, and
But
it's
it's
necessary.
a policy of the government.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the politician will lead it. Mm-hmm. It will be led principally by police officers and people who are associated with social work. Mm-hmm. And then there are some gangs that can be taken over.
Yeah.
I've heard talks about some little children who have gang. So certainly some adults could infiltrate children gang and take it over. I think the challenge will be those who are perhaps old teenagers and other people. But based on the technology which the Prime Minister described this afternoon at the Fox Hill Community Center, once those technologies are implemented, I think it's going to have a major dent in crime. And I've already told you that they have already introduced face recognition. So no matter how good looking you are or how ugly you are, if they have your face, they'll be able to find you. All right? That is how sophisticated the technology is. So they'll be able to find you. I was about to talk about an example that I wanted the government to try, but today I'm going to hold back on telling you that. Maybe I'll tell that to you tomorrow. Any other interesting thing you see in their program, my spiritual advisor?
You look at prevention, policing, detection, prosecution. Okay, and this aspect aims to ensure swift and fair justice process. Then, of course, punishment, focusing on the deterrent aspect of criminal justice. This pillar seeks to impose fair and proportionate punishments. But here's the fifth one now, rehabilitation. Now, this can be very interesting because no doubt after folks would have been charged or had to be punished as a result of a crime, now how do you rehabilitate this person? Because apparently it doesn't seem as if that the prison system is designed for rehabilitation. It seems as if it breaks the prisoner more than it helps to build them.
Well, my spiritual advisor.
So that's going to be interesting to see how.
Speculate.
I've heard some stories, Senator.
I perhaps can ask certain authorities to permit you a tour of the prison, so that you can ascertain certain information, as opposed to coming here on national radio and television and wrongly speculating.
I'm not wrongly speculating, Sandra.
Well, tell us what information you have.
So, I saw a video where a young man who says that he was falsely accused of rape and he spent some time in prison.
He was falsely accused of rape.
Yeah.
Is he suggesting that it was consensual?
Well, I don't know if it happened at all. He's saying this person just accused him of raping her, and he ended up in the prison system, and he explained the prison system, and if he wasn't a strong person, what the prison system could do to you.
Okay.
He spoke about the conditions. He spoke about how there are times. I have the video. Maybe I'll put that into the system so you can play that.
Well,
but it's an interesting.
Let you and I see it together secretly before you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you probably won't believe it anyhow.
No. All I've said is let me and you look at it secretly first, and then we could agree it will go there.
Yeah, and so he spoke about the conditions of the prison, as relates to the amount of individuals that are in one cell at any given time. He used the number 5 and 6. He says sometimes in the prison cells there are 5 and 6 persons. And then he talks about, I thought this was something that was happening 30 or 40 years ago. He talks about a bucket that you have to relieve yourself in. And you say to yourself, when you're placing those.
Is he not aware that the prison was opened in 1952 and everybody practically had outside toilet?
So what does that mean? This is 2024.
Yeah, well, you need resources. Wayne Monroe is trying to get Parliament to approve $91 million to build a prison when we have thousands of people that we have to feed. We have thousands of people who need medical attention. 6 a.m. this morning, a woman who lives in the eastern part of the island, she waked me up to tell me how she needs her eye to be examined. All right? She is a wonderful Christian woman. She is a PLP. She has voted for Zane Lightman, and she's very upset. So I had to say to her, listen, I can go look for Dr. Michael Davil so they could look at your eyes. So you see the challenges here with all kind of social problem and all kind of medical problem. Monroe wants $91 million. Monroe got one huge block making machine. I saw it. And they want to make like 10,000 blocks per day to build a super prison. All right? So the government is going to have use certain priorities. And so that young man is going to have to understand that we have to be careful to avoid rape. Rape is usually anti-man. The American tourist has demonstrated to us that women can lie, can conspire, but then there are some men who are not able to control their sexuality, and therein lies the problem.
Right. So, in his testimony, like I tell you,
This is the rapist.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Has he been convicted?
He served time, so he's been convicted. All right.
So
We're talking about rehabilitation. As a matter of fact, I believe the acronym used for the prison is what BDOC is now called the Bahamas Department of Corrections.
that's such a long name that the late Bernard Nottage gave it.
Right.
Just say.
So it's a Department of Correction. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to correct these men, women, before they re-enter society, because you want them to come back into
Some
society and
citizens
function.
are willing to be corrected.
Okay.
Some citizens are willing to learn from their punishment and the penalties. And there are others who are hardened, who have decided that they think they can outsmart society. The Prime Minister say that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will go after them. It is simple as that. Simple as that.
So this is interesting as it relates to rehabilitation. They actually tried. Well, they explained it, and
Go ahead.
it's really
Tell me what
interesting.
they say.
It says preparing offenders, just like I say, preparing offenders for successful reintegration into society.
Yes.
Good. With vocational training,
Yes.
such as educational programs,
Yes.
mental health and substance abuse treatment, and support networks to reduce recidivism. And that's something that I often think about too. If you've been into a system that is called Fox Hell, why would you want to go back to it? You know, why men end up coming out of the prison and then after a short time end up going back to it? It's just beyond me.
Well, there are a number of circumstances that may contribute to it.
Which includes what?
And so the most we can do is speculate. There are some people who come out of prison, they have not learned any skills, they have not learned any profession, and they would have challenges finding jobs. There are some people who think that they can continue to trick society and commit crimes and get away with it. So there's a variety of things, and we just have to continue to work towards rehabilitation. And to the extent that people don't understand, they have to be subjected to punishment. And that is what the Prime Minister has indicated this afternoon at the Fox Hill Community Center.
Okay, so we have some interesting things going on.
Yeah.
Which is we all have to support it because we all looking to have a whole and a better society. So.
Right. And meanwhile, starting right in Centerville, the Centerville Urban Renewal Committee, they are moving swiftly to introduce certain social programs, for instance, to assist young people who may have been suspended from school, where they can bring them in and assist them with basic subjects, English, mathematics, and so forth. So we all must put our hands into it to, try to improve the situation. So I thought it was a wonderful meeting. I thought the program, a copy of which we are holding here, is a very good program, and we have to do everything that is lawful, that is good, that is decent, to address these many, many social programs. All I want people to know is the technology is here. They can recognize your face and they can find you. I'm not going to tell you how they do it, but take it from me, they have done it. And now they're introducing a new technology that will quickly find these cars. I will be impressed when they start reporting how they have captured these many Japanese vehicles which are used in these drive-by shooting. But from all indication, the perspectives are good, and every citizen must join hand, because when crimes are taken or carried out against a citizen, it has nothing to do with politics. A person is harmed, a person is killed. We never ask anyone, is he a PLP or is he an F&M? We look at the fact that it is a human being, it is a citizen. Do we have any more points on this?
No, we can move on.
We can move on.
We can move on.
I'm very disturbed over the fact that I I'm compelled to hear the complaint of a Caribbean woman who's made some very serious allegation, and it disturbs me over the fact that she has alleged that her jaws has been broken. And I'm very disturbed over who she is alleging has broken her jaws, and the fact that she alleges that the police is ignoring her, is avoiding her, is not listening to her complaints. And that greatly disturbs me. I'm particularly disturbed because she's not a citizen of the Bahamas, and I believe that every human being in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas must be protected by the laws of the Bahamas, and no man should have the right to break the jaws of any woman. That's only my belief. I might be wrong, but I really don't think it should happen, and I'm disturbed over the fact that she has alleged that she can find no one in law enforcement who's willing to investigate her complaint. That disturbs me. And I want the Royal Bahamas Police Force to investigate the complaints of people to see if the allegations they are making is true. And if the allegations are true, then the policeman that the woman alleges has broken her jaw, he should be asked, why did you break her jaw? He might have a good reason. He might. I don't know. But I'm very disturbed that this woman continues to call me, continues to complain over her suffering and over the fact that she can get no justice. So my final attempt has been to say to her, send me all the information, and I'm going to do everything in my power to pass it to the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernanda, with a view to seeing whether the police could deal with it. I want law enforcement officers to recognize that it is so important to be responsible in how you deal with people and how you deal with women. I don't think we should break anybody's jaws, man nor woman. And I feel sad for her as I have to listen to her almost every other morning, very early. She calls to complain that she can't get no police. In fact, she's accused the police of almost ducking her, almost hiding from her, and how she suffered. So it's my hope and prayer that when the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernanda, would get the information, that he would have the Royal Bahamas Police Force to investigate her complaint and then invite the officer whom she has alleged broke her jaw, that he will be asked why, so that we can see if he had justification to break her jaw. And if he has justification, then the police can say to the woman, he has alleged that you did A, B, C, and in his defense, he had to break your jaw. But if he cannot prove that she had offended, he should be called to give an accounting. I'm disturbed by that. And I'm very disturbed by that. So it is my hope and prayer that I will no longer hear women having to allege that their jaws have been broken. And I'm very disturbed when the woman is is not a citizen of the Bahamas, I ask myself, is she being abused because she's not a citizen? And what happens to woman's right? And what happens to human right? And should men be allowed, under the color of being a police, to broke the jaws of a woman? I don't think so. And I don't like it. And I hope that the Commissioner of Police would ensure that the complaint of that woman is investigated. It is sad when you have to hear a woman with a foreign accent saying to you that she accepts your leadership, and then you must say to yourself, Lord, what is this? So I'm saddened by it. And I call on the police going forward, either carrying out the law or through whatever domestic means, please do not break the jaws of anyone, and particularly the jaws of a woman. Because once you break a jaw, you make it difficult for her to eat and for her to swallow, and you create other medical problems for her, and she can't get any compensation. And I don't think it is fair. I just don't think it is fair. I really don't like it. And I felt so sorrowful for her. Really, I do. So we'll see if the Commissioner of Police, when he would have gotten all the information, he would have the police investigate this woman's complaint. Today, I will not reveal her nationality. This is Freedom March. God save women in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save Caribbean women who have alleged that they have been abused. God save the King. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We'll be right back after the break. It's powerful. God save the King. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. And of course, it's birthday times. Bradley.
Yeah, let's do this quickly. We got a few birthday shout-outs today. Let's see, who's celebrating? Here we go. All right, yeah. This beautiful lady is celebrating a birthday. Her name is Andronique Stubbs. It's coming from her mom, her dad, and brothers. Of course, her mom is Nicola, and all of her family members and friends. Special birthday shout out to Miss Andronique Stubbs. We hope you had a good birthday, and we hope you live to enjoy many, many more. Birthday shout out to Brother Joe and Barry. Well, birthday is today. Happy birthday to you. It's coming from your family and friends. All the best to you on your birthday, and we hope you live to enjoy many, many more. And then, of course, yes, happy birthday to Rasta. All the best on your birthday. It's coming from your special friends and brothers. We hope you've had a good birthday, and of course, we hope you live to enjoy many, many more. And also the young man here who's part of the Breakfast Club. So you have a name for him? Happy birthday to you, coming in from your family and friends, of course, and your loved ones. All the best to you on your birthday, and we hope you live to enjoy many, many, many more. And then last but by no means least, we want to send a happy birthday shout out to Naisia Turncrest in San Salvador. I don't know, do you have this one, Mr. Medusa? Let me just resend that so you can, yeah, the young lady there. I think she's in uniform, school uniform. Yeah, her name is Naisia Turncrest in San Salvador. It's coming from her parents, Paul and Jacinta Turncrest. Yes, brothers and sisters, especially Aunt Janice and Grammy Carmy Hunt. So happy birthday to, I don't know how to pronounce this young lady's first name, Nyasia. Is that Nyasia? Nyasia. How do you pronounce that? Nyasia? Okay, thank Chris in San Salvador. I'm so sorry, young lady. I need to break it down. Okay, Nyasia. Happy birthday to you. All the best to you coming in from your parents, your mom and dad, and of course your brothers and sisters, aunts, especially Aunt Janice and Grammy Carry Hunt. Okay, absolutely. That is all I think we have for today. Yeah.
Well, I do have one.
Go ahead, Senator.
To my good friend and colleague, Dexter Gardner. Dexter Gardner is celebrating a birthday. And of course, Dexter hails from the Big Pond subdivision. So if you see Dexter, tell him I say happy birthday, and it is powerful. Dexter Gardner. It's powerful. Well, I think that is it. I was supposed to shout somebody out, but I don't remember. So, to the unknown, to the people that I should have shouted out and I didn't, I do shout you out. And it's powerful.
Absolutely.
But having said that, what are we going to look at, my spiritual advisor? Because there are some other exciting news which is taking place here in the country. You may not be aware that in the Bahamas there has been a massive smuggling ring taking place here. Everything is smuggled through the Bahamas, and in many cases, those of us who are citizens and who should be protecting the integrity of the Bahamas, who should be protecting the public treasury to ensure that those who are bringing in illegal goods, in other words, they should have bought it in lawfully and to pay their taxes. Well, the financial secretary at Simon Wilson is reporting that there is over $200 million worth of smuggling taking place here in the Bahamas. And he has pointed out that the government is very, very interested and shall pursue the smugglers. Now, for those of you who may have forgotten, this nation from early colonial time has always had a history of piracy. And so there's always been smuggling, bootlegging, run-rumming, dope. Now, in modern times, there's still smuggling taking place. There has always been cocaine smuggling. And even though many of us think that cocaine is now out of style, do you know we still have some whoppers? Do you know there are people still whopping? Do you know there's people still basing right here in our society? So cocaine is still being smuggled into the country, and serious dope has been continued to smuggle marijuana dope to the extent that some of the most prestigious Christian schools, their students have become a part of the drug smuggling activities, notwithstanding that the school is identified as a Christian school. The students are making dope cookies, dope cakes, and they are selling it. We saw the other day there was a private school in which some people came into the country that they allege were Christians. And we have heard how perhaps a dozen or more students were fed something and everybody collapsed. And of course, the police is, as I understood it, investigating. But to date, no one has told us whether or not the Christian missionaries, did they bring drugs into the country? What did they give to the young people? So nobody has told us, and it leaves us open to speculation. We know that biddies, is it biddies, my spiritual advisor? The one that they
What?
smoke.
Oh, beaties?
Yes.
Yeah,
Biddies
beaties, yeah.
is a very thin piece of cigarette.
I think that's been outdated now, though. They don't smoke beaties no more.
So what are they smoking as opposed to biddies now?
I think they're doing like that black and mild thing. And look like a lot of guys now, what they're doing is they're going into these Chinese places and asking for something called grabber. You ever hear about grabber?
I've never, I said it again?
Grabber.
Now when you say grab,
How do you spell that, Miss Medusa?
Grab.
He's young, he would know. Grabber, Grabba.
no mind.
Grabber, right?
Grabber?
Yeah.
It is in
Nah.
Grabher.
No. I think it's Grab. Somebody text me the information, please. 814-6096.
Tell me about this new
They're buying
drug
something
called
called Grabber.
The Chinese are selling it?
Yeah.
Really?
Grabba.
Is this lawful?
It's a thing. It's like a sheet thing. Like it's something used to wrap cigar. And what they're doing is they're wrapping the dope in it.
Really?
Yeah, so the police think that they smoking. I mean, if you just look at it, you think that they're just smoking like maybe a brown cigar or something like that, but the contents has something else rolled into it.
And you think it's dope?
That's what they're doing now. BDs is that's the
Now,
thing in the
Special
past.
Advisor, I want you to stop telling me that BDs.
Ain't nobody smoking BD no
Stop
more,
saying
Sam.
that. Say nobody that you see.
But I haven't seen anybody smoke
Right.
BDs for a while.
Well, I see
because
people smoking BDs.
BDs to sterilize you.
Don't mind that. These Negroes don't know it.
That's what the Chinese use to stop population in China.
Yeah, but
You see what I'm saying?
for many black people, it's hard to sterilize them with that. All right?
Well, they're so potent, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have a situation where BDs are smuggled into the country. There's a major cigarette racket taking place. There's a major cigar racket taking place. And Simon Wilson now has the challenge of determining how to crack it down. Well, the first problem we are faced with is the port of entry that brings in the goods is not government controlled. It isn't owned by the government. It isn't managed by the government. And therein exists a sophisticated level of gangsterism taking place. Never before in the history of mankind that a government surrender sovereignty to the importation of goods and services into the capital. Into the capital. So we don't control our rock container port. We don't. We don't control downtown. The state is not in charge of it. Who is in charge of it? Scallywags are in charge. So Simon is going to have a lot of problem because the children of the parrots, they are in charge of it. And they're smarter than us. And so there's major smuggling taking place, major rum running, all kind of dope and drugs are taking place in this country. So that is what is taking place. And Simon Wilson, he wants it stopped, and he wants the taxes that are owed to the government to be paid. And then there are many people who are responsible for the protection of the borders. They sold us out. They sold us out for grapes. They sold us out for some what? Some filet mignon. You don't think so, hey? Take it from me. As the investors smuggling meats, those who should be managing it and making sure that the government taxes are collected, they get their meat. They get their $10,000 to look another way. So millions of dollars in taxation is not collected, and therefore the government is unable to fund its program because we have allowed foreigners and other scallywags to be responsible for the importation. That's what's going on. It's a major racket taking place. Major racket. And it's unfair because the poor man will not be allowed to smuggle. We can't smuggle. We can't smuggle. But they're smuggling. They're smuggling. You may not believe this. For months, I used to lay down in the sun at Arawakti as I looked to the north. And I used to see people lifting things off them big ship. And I wondered, where was Custer? I couldn't identify Custer. And so we need revolutionary legislation in place to manage our custom department. Every custom officer should be identified as a soldier. Every custom officer must be told that if they allow smuggling to take place, smuggling shall be regarded as a capital offense, and the custom officer who allows it should be regarded as a traitor and should be put on trial and be accused of high conspiracy to deprive the state of needed taxes. So this is what is going on. So Simon has a lot of work because smuggling is taking place. And they're bringing everything here into the country. And nobody is watching. That's what's going on. So the government can't collect all the monies that is needed because major smuggling is taking place. And the smuggler, you could hardly tell who he is. Sometimes the smuggler looks like a Negro. Some days he's a Conky Joe. Some days he's the Chinese. So it's difficult. And the smuggler can pay. And everybody is looking not for what? A few dollars? Or are they looking for a fistful of dollars? Huh? What do you think they're looking for? A handful? A fistful? A few dollars? They're looking for a fistful of dollars. So that is what is going on, and Simon is in trouble. Because these smugglers are invisible. And it's difficult to identify them. And we made a fundamental mistake. And we can only blame the policy of the Free National Movement, who has surrendered the sovereignty of our country to the Philistines. So the Philistines are in charge of Arawaki, and they're in charge of Nassau Cruz. That's what's going on. So we can't get the taxes. They're robbing us, but we're not allowed to rob them. They're ripping us off. They're committing robbery. That's what's going on. And the question now is, when will we stop them? Or is it possible to stop them? So the country suffer, and that's what's going on. So Simon says, very aggressive crackdown on $200 million smuggling evasion. The government's top finance official last night pledged a very aggressive approach to cracking down on smuggling and tax avoidance schemes believed to cost the Bahamas a combined $200 million annually. Simon Wilson, the Ministry of Finance's top official, told the Tribune that alcohol and tobacco smuggling has been a long-standing problem that has cost not just the public treasury, but legitimate retailers, wholesalers, and importers, distributors of such products. And the tax authorities are also seeking to arrest the spread of the evasion and avoidance schemes involving VAT, custom duties, and business license fees. Mr. Wilson told the Tribune that besides firms registering for VAT but never providing a single filing or payment, companies were also employing accounting tricks in a bid to escape paying the government its due share. So you see the level of gangsterism taking place. Everybody's stealing. Don't mind they're wearing coat suit. Don't mind they're wearing nice jackets. Don't mind they got good hair. They're thieves. Don't mind they got color. They're crooks. That's what's going on. And therefore, the government has problems taking care of many of the social issues. That's what's going on. So Simon, work is cut out. I call on the Customs Department to recommit themselves to the social revolution, to recommit themselves to collecting the government taxes. It's very important. And collecting the taxes from them who you know can afford it. Them who are smuggling with impunity. My spiritual advisor, do you have any comments?
Well, yeah, not to mention $100 million in tobacco and liquor. That's also evading the government taxes. But you know, Santa, I'm not trying to justify anything, but the reality is that the tariffs on these items are just so high that I guess merchants feel as if they can't really make anything from them.
They should smuggle.
No, I'm not saying that.
They should thief.
I'm not saying that, Santa.
They should rob the public treasury.
I'm not saying that.
They should rape.
I'm not saying
So
that.
when the merchants who are
I'm not saying
wealthy
that.
is raping and robbing and pilfering, what do you expect?
Well, maybe if the government
poor to do.
reduce some of the tariffs.
What would you like to be
Right.
reduced?
I think what I would like to be reduced, I'm just zeroing on what is said about $100 million worth of alcohol and tobacco that's being smuggled into the country without government getting their share. When you look at the government tariffs on them, and then consumers after clearing these goods, then have to sell them to the public, I guess either the wholesalers or the retailers say to themselves, man, by the time the government add on there 150%, we'll have to sell a pack of cigarette for almost $14. Who's going to buy that?
Or so let's smuggle.
I'm not saying that, Sandra.
I don't mean
Why do
you
you
must smuggle.
No, I'm just.
You will save. I don't expect you to smuggle.
No, I don't even smoke.
Unless you smuggle in the Bible.
But that's the harsh reality that, if the government wants to
so let's justify
try to get this shit, then reduce.
Okay. Other than that,
Reduce it.
the business people will smuggle.
150% on either alcohol or tobacco? Wow.
My spiritual advisor.
How do you expect the merchants to make it those who sell those products?
So what taxes are the merchants
There has to be another way
paying
for the government.
after they smuggled the thing in?
Yes, but there has
So
to
they
be.
get away. They don't say, government, we have smuggled Last month we have made X amount of dollars. Here's your share. They're smuggling and keeping everything. Huh?
Yeah. So
Is that fair?
Yeah, I understand. But what needs to happen? The government needs to find a way to offset those high tariffs, right? By introducing maybe corporate tax for big business like they are planning on doing. And then they could reduce some of the tariffs on some of these goods that are important to the country. And it will then, maybe cause these people to think twice about smuggling them because the tariffs are so reduced to almost a minimum.
Is there?
It's affordable to bring it in and sell it.
Okay.
That's my argument.
I'm going to use
It may not be here or there,
example.
but.
What about cheese? Isn't cheese?
I think a certain high-end cheese, it's kind of expensive to bring into the country. That's why you look at certain stores, like say, for instance, store all the way out west. It's very expensive to buy certain cheese. The average man won't be able to afford it.
Are you suggesting to me the cost of cheddar cheese?
The cheddar may not be that expensive.
It's very expensive.
Cheddar cheese?
I just bought a piece of cheddar cheese, and when I got it, and the people tell
$4?
me, no, the cheddar cheese was so expensive that I didn't know what to do.
A minute, yeah.
Huh?
But that's my thing on that.
Anyway, we must tell these merchants to stop, and the government must prosecute them. We must prosecute them, and we must give them the cat o' nine tail. That's what needs to happen. And the cat o' nine tails should be given to the merchants who are smuggling, and we should do it in the public square. This is Freedom March. God save Simon Wilson. May he catch those rascals. May he collect the taxes. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save King Charles III and the entire royal family. God save the King. It's powerful. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. So I'm going to invite him to open the lines. Bradley, the lines, please.
All right, yeah, the lines are open now. 323-7775. 6980775 and 6980776. You can call us. We got about 25 minutes? 25 minutes or so to entertain some calls. So you can call us now if you would like to. Senator, the Progressive Liberal Party is now making a case for a second term. So the question is, where's the F&M in all this? Because apparently they're making a very strong case to be reelected in 2026, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. The F&M is, I don't know what's going on with them. Anyhow, let's take this call. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Doing well, ma'am. How are you?
Okay, Mr. Spiritual Advisor, I just want to inform you that the duty on tobacco and alcohol products are considered a sin tax.
Yes, I understand that.
Because of the negative impact on people's health.
Yes.
So in every country in the world, those duties are always
Exorbitantly high, eh? Okay.
Yes, always. So therefore, the Bahamas government cannot reduce those taxes.
They could if they want to.
No. I just point out that in every country in the world...
Yes, but this is a sovereign country. We're different. We could if we want to.
Okay, then what would you... Then the people are sick from alcohol, cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah, you believe...
Serious with the long cancer. How would you take care of those people?
Is there any sin tax on red meat?
No.
All right, then.
Most people don't consume red meat to that great extent.
Yeah.
But in the Bahamas and most countries in the world, tobacco products and alcohol products are greatly abused.
I got your point. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Take care. And I'm sorry for calling you ma'am at the beginning. Sorry about that, sir. Forgive me. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. See, smoking and drinking are the usual things that causes bad health. There's so many different things.
And they are sinful.
Yeah. No. There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't smoke.
My spiritual
There's nothing about sinful to who? There's nothing in the Bible that says you can't drink.
My spiritual.
So don't say sin.
It's sinful.
Based on what?
I just declared a sin.
Yeah. Anyhow, welcome to Freedom March. Call your life.
I'd like to send happy belated birthday to Peter Brennan.
This is powerful.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right, and I think too we want to send a birthday shout out to Gaynell Ferguson, coming from your husband Lovato Ferguson. So happy birthday, Gaynell Ferguson. Your husband Lovato Ferguson is sending you a birthday shout out. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March. Call your live.
Hey, spiritual advisor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, listen, I don't want to make too much difference about red meat and all of that, right? But I don't think the lungs were designed for smoke. And I don't know the effect alcohol has on one's liver. And
excessive.
I agree with one thing you said much earlier in the show about prison. I went to prison waiting trial.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want being tried with no 5 dudes and no cell or no bucket.
Right.
So I guess they like going to jail.
Yeah, that's the only conclusion. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as far as alcohol and cigarettes are concerned, like the previous caller said, it is to discourage us. They tell us not to do it, and we still do it. It's on the surgeon, one in general, on the cigarette, and all of that. But that's where it is. But we was complaining earlier about what they call it, bread basket items. Why don't we smuggle them so they could have the people?
Well, you don't want to tell people to smuggle. That's against the law.
I don't encourage that, but if I would do that, I would do it. Let me be like Robin Hood. Let me go.
Take from the rich and give it to the poor.
Take care of the poor people, which is wrong.
All right, Carl. Yeah, we got you. Thank you so much. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, this is Mario Scott Bannister, Eclipse Heritage National Park Manager Director calling.
Mario Scott Bannister, how are you?
I am doing fine.
You and
Powerful.
I must meet because in the district of New Providence appeared a Negro citizen who has complained, and I'm rather disturbed because I've always regarded you as a wonderful citizen, and so you and I must caucus so that I may discuss his industrial issue with you.
Okay.
And when will you have free time?
Mr. Monica, if someone's called you to complain, I'd like to look at that issue right away.
Yes.
But I have a very active human resource department that we've now put in place that was disbanded by the former government. And they have been very effective in dealing with all the issues. So I'm not aware of any issue, any legitimate issue. We do know of an employee who has some issues, but those issues were not deemed to be legitimate issues. Notwithstanding any of that, we still followed the lead and paid the employee all that they were entitled to, even to the extent that paying them a bit more than what they were entitled to keep the peace, because we know that these are troubling times. And we forgave them for all of their misgivings. So I'm not sure if this is the same employee, what else it is that they could expect. I am a very fair person, open-minded. I have an open door policy. And I follow the principle and lead of my party, which is that we take care of our people. And my mandate is to use the institution of the state to change the mindset, provide training, and develop a cadre of good behaviors with work ethics that are able to contribute.
While I am impressed with what you are saying, the Negro citizen has raised an issue that is fundamental to your party. And I must talk with you, for I need to determine if you are still following the Progressive Liberal Party's policy. For if you are not, then I would be called upon to invite you to do so.
Of course.
And so, I don't know if on the weekend you will be free. But whenever you're free, I petition you to meet with me, and I ask you this with the greatest humility. How does that sound?
Of course, that sounds good. I'm available every day of the week. I'm in Clifton, and you just call me. I think I left a voicemail on your private number. You just call me, and we will meet.
This is powerful.
And we'll open the books. We'll look at everything.
Now, I need you to publicly declare that when I reveal the identity of that Negro citizen to you, you will not raise your hands against that citizen.
Of course not. Of course not. I'm
powerful.
also governed by the rules of a board of directors. And so there's no way that that would be allowed, and there's no way that will be practiced by me.
And I'm particularly concerned
that's what they all
because
say.
citizen has...
Well, my board has described me as the most magnanimous person that they've ever encountered.
Well then...
And Mr. Munker knows me. The way I live my life is I look out for the poor and the downtrodden.
Well, this man is not only the poor, he is PLP, and I've asked him to prove it. And he, having proven to me that he is a PLP, that he accepts the leadership of Philip Brave Davis, I am now empowered to meet with you.
Thank you so much.
I like that so much, Mr. Manka. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday or Sunday, or whenever you would call. I will come to you, or you're invited to come and visit us at Clifton at any time where some wonderful things are happening, and we need your support in making all of these wonderful things taking place at Clifton known.
You have my support. I shall call you. You may have to come to see me because I have a bad foot, okay?
Okay.
You do well.
Thank you, brother. Okay,
This
bye-bye.
is powerful.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Hi, yes. Prophet and Dr. Monka.
So,
please, if you're calling of that amount of conversation, please invite the question so we can see who they're talking about. My second thing is, I took a weekend to go to North. The social machine, it could rely on, is out of work. The people can't even get finance. The gas station closed, so they can't even go down to Fresh Fruit to get services from the bank machine. My second statement is, if the government claims that they recover the 400,000 loans of confiscated tobacco on alcohol, how come nobody brought these people to justice the same way individuals are? They're doing this smuggle.
well,
Right.
let me put it this
Why
way.
is it not brought
To the authorities. Okay.
knowledge?
They are investigating, and I'm certain some people will be charged if they don't pay. Okay?
How could they be charged if the government had claimed they already collected money?
No.
Can't charge them all and then collect all the money?
No. The government never said they collected all the money.
Yes, they said it. Yes, they collected some $400,000 this month.
No. We are talking about the smuggling.
No, that's what I'm
200.
saying now. They collected $400,000 in cash.
You're not listening to me. $200 million more has been
Should've.
able to escape through smuggling.
So who are the individuals? So we'll go purchase none of these smuggling goods.
They,
Well, that's
at
a
the
good
moment,
point.
some of them look like us, some look like you, some look like me.
Or some Egyptian know, or some
Well, we don't want to do that. We don't do that.
No, there's nothing wrong with him speaking that language.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
what means alcohol and they're African.
We understand your complaint. We shall talk.
Let me continue going the smuggling way, and then look, I just walk up and just going to purchase the buys and say,
Yeah, we hear you, and we shall come back with further and better particulars. We thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you too. All right, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Next caller, please. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Good afternoon, Spiritual Advisor.
Good afternoon, sir.
How you doing?
Oh, doing well, thank you.
Spiritual Advisor, I just called you for the last time when we spoke about the correctional facility, the young people. I can tell you.
All right. Do me a favor. Your phone, it's dipping in and out. Could you start over, please?
Okay, like I was saying,
Right.
remember when I spoke to you and I sent a text to you concerning the way we could curb the crime with our youngsters going to jail by having a boot camp in jail, all right, which would be a deterrent to them getting the sentence to go to jail. All right, that's something that they do in Miami.
Okay.
So our police force and the correctional officers need to get with the people in Miami did and have something, off the ground like that. So it don't, you don't want to send a 14 or 15-year-old to jail amongst hardened criminals.
Yeah.
And, just try to reform them some way so that they do a 16-month, and the 16-month program that they do will give them the chance back in society.
Okay. All right.
Right? And that's one point. And then Senator Monka,
So,
what you need to do right now is try to assist your good friend Car Wash.
I'm very disturbed because very early this morning, a Negro man called me to tell me that Car Wash was in lawful custody in the United States of America. Is that true?
She got 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon on her, and she have a $20,000 bond, and she going to court tomorrow at 12:30. So
Is she still big and fat?
if she says what?
Yeah.
I won't say like that, but but she's going to do some time,
Yeah.
It's so sad, but
Okay. Maybe,
for her.
yes,
Well,
absolutely.
thank you. I shall pray for her.
Take care, caller.
Yeah, I shall pray for her.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Hello, caller. You there?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
I'm very blessed that
Ezekiel.
the spiritual advice.
Yeah. How do you feel about the tobacco smuggling
Ezekiel,
and the
speak.
alcohol smuggling?
I smoke cigarette one. And they tell me to take the donkey to the farm, they don't drink water. But in the midst of them, they don't stand God in and second to run first is what is that might be good to cook and I did that humble themselves and then die to be something not to be wanted to the kingdom. And I pray that you come some way that you will speak again by the peace of God and die to sons and daughters to be born into the kingdom.
Amen.
Let us continue to pray for them that they will proclaim the word of God to be supposed to be. And I like to say that it shows everybody up that you're supposed to what did I love and back somebody's very happy and sorrow that they are not to be wrong. Let us continue to pray for the males to come and love this family, especially those who have to read it. And to everyone, if you have a remember. And I like to show to everybody that knows
Ezekiel.
And I like to visit your friends of mine to have a humble blessing and by the grace of God.
This is powerful.
Much the salvation of the Lord. As long as Christ is in the to highlight this.
Amen. Ezekiel, better known as...
Yeah, Mr. Medusa, what's causing the gobbling the calls? Is that us or them, their phones? Okay, all right, 323-7775. We had 1 or 2 calls that wasn't clear. I didn't understand a word he said. Anyhow, welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, how are you, sir?
Great, sir.
Good.
Mr. Bunker,
Sir,
I hear you saying rum and cigarette smoking is sinful.
yes.
All the money your cousin in Foxville daddy make off for selling rum, you just remember it's sinful.
I always knew it was sinful.
And if you did come around your daddy on a Friday or Saturday night talking that foolishness, inspects would tell you a thing or two.
I thank you for drawing that to my attention. It's still a sin. Have a good day. How I get over all the days.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Hello.
Yes, you're live, caller. Go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Monka.
Sir.
All as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I was just curious because I enjoyed Rabaco and being at your speaking about the smuggling situation and all of that.
Right.
We have a serious issue. We have got to go into a town one meeting because they was addressing the demolition of the shanty towns.
Yes.
I just want to know, Mr. Monka, where your stance on that. The Rabaco need people want to hear from you.
They want to hear from me?
Yeah, we want to hear from you, sir.
Well, let me say it this way. There is the rule of law where there are certain legislation governing the construction of homes. So it becomes very important that everyone applies for a building permit by submitting a housing plan, awaiting approval. Once that is granted, you're now able to construct a home. If you don't do it properly, you run into legal problems. However, it is my hope to speak with some families of mine who are major landowner on Abaco with a view to saying how best we may be able to assist my people.
Right. We appreciate you, Mr. Monka. We hope to see you down here sometime soon.
Get me organized. I need a mail boat to bring me. I'm afraid of planes. And I'll come down.
Okay, well, Mr. Monka, I'll be in contact.
Be in contact with me. I yearn to return to the homeland of my forefathers. This is
Sounds for Mr. Monka.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Good afternoon. My leader, how you doing?
My love.
The spiritual advisor.
I'm
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
How are you?
I would like to send anniversary of Reverend Keith Russell.
Yes.
His 13th pastoral anniversary at the First Baptist Church in Freeport.
Yes.
And birthday greeting to Mr. Aldous Neely, Nikki Green, and Elizabeth Wilson.
This is
And it's
powerful.
coming from Queenie Gibson in Freeport. One of the woman there.
Before you leave,
Thank you.
Queenie Gibson, Aldous Neely birthday fell which day?
I don't remember the date.
Oh, okay. I was thinking he shared a birthday with my good friend Dexter Gardner. But if you
never
see,
too late.
if
If the money is, it'll never be too late to
that is
celebrate.
true. So I want you to convey a message to him.
Go ahead.
Tell him I say happy birthday.
I will.
And to the pastor, let him know that I wish him a happy anniversary. And to the other citizen who shares a birthday in this month, let them know that I say happy birthday. It's powerful.
All right, my leader.
Thank
Do
you.
well. Do well, my love.
Yes, you do the same.
This is powerful.
I'm celebrating the birthday this month.
Yes, my
Yeah,
spiritual.
my birthday's on Sunday.
Should I say happy birthday?
Well, not
today
yet.
or
If
tomorrow?
it's the Lord's will, no. If it's the Lord's will, I'll have a birthday on Sunday coming, which is the 25th. Is Sunday the 25th?
I think Sunday is the
Yeah,
25th.
yeah. Getting older, Sandra. 58. Wow,
You're going to be 58?
58 on Sunday.
Man, you
If
look
it's the
good-
Lord's
You
will.
look good for 58. What are you doing?
Yeah, I believe in Jesus.
Oh, hallelujah.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Hello.
Yes, you're live, caller. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Roll. How you doing?
Fine. How you doing,
I'm all right, you know. This is your namesake here, too.
Miss Rowe?
Mr.
Okay.
Monka, how are you?
Listen, I'm fine, praise the Lord. How are you?
Fine. I'm going to talk quick because I see your time is going. Mr. Monka,
Yes.
I'm calling to find out if you know a Sidney Hepburn that lives in Pinewood Garden. He also is a notary.
Sidney Hepburn, who lives in Pinewood Garden.
Yes.
His name does not come to my recollection.
Okay, because while I'm calling on the show, because I have a document in my hand
Yes?
that he notarized in 213
Yes.
Right.
from my father.
Yes.
And my daddy died in 206.
Okay. Now, are you sure it isn't a person who has the identical name to your father?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
And
I'll tell you about it off air tomorrow, like last.
okay, but I want
But
I want to say something to you.
Uh-huh.
If you come before me and you say that your name is Mary Day, and I do not know you, and we discover that you give me the wrong name, I'm not guilty of a crime. You!
Mr. Monica,
Yes?
when I talk to you tomorrow, like last, you'll know exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay.
And, okay? This young man
Yes.
from Bimini. And my spiritual advisor, my brother, my last brother, who is sick up in Atlanta, he's going to be 58 tomorrow.
Well, on the 23rd. Okay, yeah.
Happy
Wish him
birthday.
happy birthday first place.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll probably put him on the show.
Yes, ma'am.
The 23rd or the 24th.
Tomorrow's the 23rd.
Oh, well, then I a day early then.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. You take care. We take one more call before we end. Do we have another call? Let's take one more. You have 30 seconds. Okay. We'll leave those calls for tomorrow. All right, Sandra, we got 2 minutes before the show is
Well,
ended.
my spiritual advisor, I want to thank you
Yeah,
for your daily contribution to nation building.
absolutely.
I want to wish every citizen who continue to join us, I want to salute them. And of course, yeah, that's what I want to do. I was in Foxhill. I ran into a number of distinguished citizens. I met a brother Wims and an uncle Ambrister. Uncle Ambrister, I was impressed by your complaint. Please put it to me in writing so that I can look at it and let the country know what you, a resident of Foxhill, is complaining about as it relates to national honors. So that would be powerful. Well, folks, we're about to leave, and we ask that you would pray for my spiritual advisor, and you will pray for me. And I think it's going to be powerful as we pray for you.
Jenna.
It's been a wonderful day that
Thank God.
I had an opportunity to go to Foxhill and to hear the government announce a bold initiative to deal with some of the social problems. Do well, everybody. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save foreign women who are the subject of local abuse. God save the King. God save King Charles III and the entire royal family. Do well, everybody. Until tomorrow, take good care, be safe.